Hi, it's Dr. Lewis Clark, and I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video series on how to naturally recover from leaky gut syndrome. So this is video 3. If you have not seen the previous videos, go to our YouTube channel, Dr. Lewis M. Clark, and go watch the other 2 as well. There's going to be a couple more in this series, so make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel to do that, so you'll get, and click the bell so you'll get the notifications on any new videos that we do. And also, if you like the video, be sure and let us know and comment on it, and also pass it on to friends, because a lot of people, like even today in my office, a person asked me about what is leaky gut, and I said, well, you should have watched the last 2 videos I just did, because I explained that. But today we're going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about some natural solutions, okay? And what do you need to be thinking about that are important in the recovery process? So first of all, to understand what needs to recover, you need to understand what exactly has happened. And then step by step, we're going to show you how we do that. Now, so first of all, a normal gut lining, we're going to use this drawing here. This is representing an enterocyte cell. That is a cell that lines your intestinal lining. And so when enterocyte cells are butted up to each other, there are tight junctions here between the cells that allow particles, small broken down food particles, amino acids and other things to pass into the bloodstream, which is here. After the lumen, it goes into the bloodstream, and then it goes to every part of your body. So that's normal digestion. So food comes in, it's broken down, it trickles down through the tight junctions into the lumen and then into the bloodstream, so that it can be taken to every one of your cells and be used. That's normal. Leaky gut is where now these junctions have been broken, and now it's opened up, and now you can allow big particles to pass down and get into the bloodstream. This could be things like an undigested protein or peptide. These are like things from gluten and dairy, which can lead to food sensitivities. This could also include things like viruses and bacteria and parasites, which can get into the bloodstream and then go to other parts of the body and affect our health and cause chronic infections. So that's the most common type of leaky gut. The progression of that is where actually the enterocyte itself has been damaged, and it's actually allowing now things to pass through the cell, not just between the cells, but through the cell and get into the bloodstream. So that's a worst case scenario. So I'm going to go into in the next video the progression, finding out where you're at, and then the recovery process specifically for each step. Today I just want to hit some basic ideas of how do I recover from this. So my number one thing I must consider first of all is how do I decrease inflammation, because inflammation causes these tight junctions to become lost. And so we have to initially put out the fire. Inflammation is like a fire, and it's causing damage. So we have to put it out. And so in those cases, you're going to want to use especially immune anti-inflammatory supplements like resveratrol and like turmeric, or you may take the active ingredient called curcumin. Those are things that are commonly effective for turning down this inflammatory process. Now, along with that, we're also going to want to begin to rebuild some of this damaged tissue. So once we kind of calm down the inflammation, we're going to want to rebuild it. And that's where we're going to use things like glutamine, which is an amino acid, and we're going to want to rebuild the actual cells in those tight junctions. We want to give glutamine and other products there to help that happen. And then there's up here on the top of these enterocytes, there is a mucosa lining up here. Excuse me, see, it's a mucosa lining that is going to need to be restored. So we're going to use some supplements like aloe and other things to begin to restore that mucosa lining. And then lastly, in this lining here, you have a lot of probiotics. A lot of people want to start with this, and this is actually the last thing that we need to consider. And so the proper process is critical. Decrease the fire, get the fire out, get the inflammation out, begin to rebuild the damaged tissue, then rebuild the mucosa lining and add in good bacteria. Now, there's one other thing that is involved in almost every leaky gut syndrome, that is, they have chronic infections. That means that they've already got not enough probiotics, they've got other things that are lacking, and they don't have, they have a bacterial overgrowth, or they have a yeast overgrowth, or they have a chronic viral infection. And so we need to do some things naturally to knock those down based on what is your particular symptom. So obviously treating chronic infections is an important part of this. And next, in the next video, I'm actually going to go into the immune response, because once the immune response gets activated, remember, anytime something gets into the bloodstream that's not supposed to be there, what's going to attack that is your immune system, and the immune system now becomes hypersensitive or overactive, and that needs to be handled as well. So be sure and subscribe, click the bell so that you can get our next video on how to handle these things. Thank you for watching. May God bless you and live life well.